Tonight on Above Board, I travel to a magical place called Denver, Colorado, and chip the light fantastic with a couple of chipper game developers.
And I reveal my shameful gaming secret while acting out my deepest puzzle fantasies on my unwitting best friend.
Thought I was your best friend.
You are not.
Sad emoji. The board is set. Let's get to it. Welcome to Above Board, the show about board games, card games, and tabletop role-playing.
Which, by the way, is not pretending you're at table. Found that out the hard way.
When did you...
It's not important.
This episode is all about Epic Games.
Wait, isn't that a video game company?
They made Fortnite, but that's not important. I'm talking about board games that are epic in scope.
Oh, like Battleship?
No.
Like Risk?
No.
Like Life?
You're literally killing me right now.
No. Look, life is literally about your entire life.
It really literally isn't. Don't make me put you in the Monopoly corner.
Wait, is this a punishment?
You know what you did.
But I don't.
I'm talking about games about massive forces moving against one another, constant conflict, earth-shattering repercussions, and a board that covers even the biggest of game tables.
So, Twister at your house.
I don't play Twister on a game table, not since the incident.
All joking aside, an escape room would be an epic game?
Yes. Technically, I guess it would. It's a game with a massive scale that takes up a whole room and a whole night to play.
Right, awesome. Because you know how Brett's always complaining that he never has enough time to play games with the rest of the cast?
Sure. I mean, you know, one of the perks of doing a show like Above Board is we get to play a lot of great games. Brett's missed out on a lot of those, so...
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it would be fun to sneak into Brett's bedroom while he was sleeping and turn it into an escape room. I mean, come on, then he can enjoy the fun of playing a game while he gets ready for his day, you know? Kill two birds. The Benadryl that I slipped into Brett's milk last night should be wearing off right about now. Let's check in and see how he's doing.
All right.
Honey? Why? Why am I handcuffed to this post? What's going on? No. You're my prisoner. Feel the fear. You're probably wondering why you're here. Why am I here? I live here! I'd be more worried about getting out. You've got an hour and clues about. The clock is running. No time to waste. Are you clever? Can you escape? No! No, I'm not clever! I'm not clever at all!
That's cute, that rhyme. Did you make that up?
Yeah, just a quick little poem to get the ball rolling.
Where did you hide the handcuff key?
It's taped right to the bottom of the clock. Oh. Okay.
We'll check back with Brett later to see how he's doing.
Can you believe that his wife actually thought that would be a bad idea?
Really? Yeah. Where is she?
Oh, she's in the audience.
Oh, hi, Lonnie.
You know he's gonna die in there.
No, he won't. Will he?
She knows him best. Anyway, back to the show. I don't suppose you play many epic games.
Well, I mean, I'd like to.
Well, what's stopping you?
Yeah, I'd rather not say. Yeah.
Why?
I have a condition.
I thought the doctor gave you that cream.
No, that's not. It's not that condition.
Then what?
I think it will be easier just to show you.
Oh, okay.
You know the type. They're present at every game night. And even though they've had the entire round since their last move, to figure out their next move,
Any day now.
they haven't.
Just give me a minute.
You said that 10 minutes ago.
They may never figure out their next move.
Are you in a rush? I mean, do you have to be someplace?
I'd like to be at the end of this game. And I'd like to be there while I'm still young enough to have kids, if that's all right with you.
You want kids?
Shut up.
You know, the two of you talking is making me take longer. And now I have to start over.
Start what over?
My thought process.
Meet the overthinker. Hello. I'm a famous TV doctor. This man suffers from a very serious condition. What he suffers from is the inability to make a decision. He fears that whatever decision he makes could be the wrong one that might cause him to lose the entire game. The medical term for this condition is known as analysis paralysis, and it's totally real.
Are you... I think he's frozen.
Hey, are you still with us?
I'm thinking!
It's the limitless options that become the problem. Make a move or draw a card. Either could be positive or negative. It's impossible to know. But there is a solution. Just make a decision.
Decision.
Yeah. No.
Because if they don't make a decision, someone will.
I'm an attractive woman. I have better things to do on a Saturday night.
I got nowhere else to go.
I just want to hit something.
Don't be the overthinker.
Blood rage. I want to take something and shove it up your. You'll just do something. God, I can't believe I'm doing this on a Saturday night. There's a million other things I could be doing right now. Like I could be playing games with like little children who at least make a decision. Why? Why do I have
they didn't
friends?
make a wrong move.
I need new friends. I need to get out of this place. I hate everybody.
Wow. So, you made an entire short film with TV legend Robert Picardo just on the chance that I might ask you about your problem?
Yeah. I have a surprising amount of free time.
Guys, am I supposed to be playing Monopoly?
No! Curtis! You have to sit there and wait for another player.
Can I pick my game piece?
You're the thimble. Thimble, Curtis!
What did he do?
He knows.
I don't know.
Well, it's too bad about your condition, Leif, because that definitely means you can't play this week's epically featured game. Let's go above the board for an epic look at Gameland Games' Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea. Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea is a 4X game for 1 to 4 players, set in a fantasy realm full of elves, dwarves, orcs, and the ever-exotic humans.
What's wrong with humans?
Is that a serious question? I mean, how much time do we have?
You mentioned 4X.
Yes. 4X describes the pattern of play in a game like this. You begin the game controlling a single nation on an unexplored map.
I can't decide who to play.
Yeah, this really is not the game for you. You start by exploring the world.
Yeah, see, that doesn't really start with an X.
Quiet, you. You then expand your territory to control more lands.
Still not an X.
You exploit the resources you find there.
See, I see a grammatically inaccurate pattern forming here.
And finally, you exterminate any enemies foolhardy enough to stand in your way.
All those words start with an E. This is a 4E game.
In Land, Air, and Sea, you essentially have 2 actions you can take during your turn. These actions are represented by these 2 tokens.
Oh, well, that doesn't sound so complex.
Each action can be used to do one of 9 things.
Never mind.
If you take one of these first 4 capital actions, all of which involve building up your empire, your opponents may follow you and take the exact same action during your turn.
I would have to make decisions about what to do even when it's not my turn?
I told you this is not the game for you. If you take one of these 5 command actions, all of which involve moving your armies or casting spells, your opponents can't copy you, and you take the action alone.
You can cast spells?
Only if you choose to. It all depends on how you want to shape your empire.
Oh, my chest is getting tight.
You should have a seat. Combat is handled with an elegant card system that has you choosing your army strategy on the battlefield.
So many choices.
The combat ends up being fast, fun, and doesn't bog down the game, no matter how large your armies become.
Wait, how large can the armies get?
Each region can hold 5 units per faction, so it never gets overwhelming.
Yeah, speak for yourself.
Your empire is mostly made up of serfs who can gather resources, work in your capital city, or act as fodder in your armies, and warriors who basically hit things.
Okay, I'm feeling better. Only 2 units.
Each faction, however, has 3 unique heroes they can recruit, as well as a unique water vessel and airship.
Okay.
You can also build towers or increase the level of your capital up to 3 tiers. This all depends on the myriad decisions you make throughout the game.
Okay, is this room hot, then suddenly cold, then really hot again?
Additionally, these 3 expansions add in mercenaries you can hire.
Oh, God.
There's an expansion that adds siege engines.
Oh, boy.
The Order and Chaos expansion adds Lionken, undead, lizard folk, and goblins to the mix, as well as expanding the game up to 6 players. Whereas the Pestilence expansion adds birdfolk, merfolk, sunken continents, and giant flying islands.
I think I see a bright light.
Leif, did you pass out?
Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea is a game for 1 to 4 people, 14 years or older, and takes 30 minutes per player to play.
It's for people who love strategy games.
Folks that can make decisions quickly.
Those that believe that land and sea is just not enough.
People who are blind to the letter E.
Orcs, gotta represent.
And Robert Picardo, who will be playing this with me as a part of my ongoing therapy treatments.
You do know he's not a real doctor, right?
I mean, of course I do.
He's a hologram.
You know, just when I think you're normal.
Speaking of exceptional, our next guest is pretty awesome, too.
No, see, I wasn't calling you exceptional.
Oh, enough about me. This guy who's about to come out here is my personal hero. He's forgotten more about board games than I've ever known, and he's picked up more about board games than Leif's ever known in just the last hour. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Dice Tower, Tom Vasel!
Hello! Hi, guys!
So, Tom, you're the owner, the creator, the grand poobah, some might say, of the Dice Tower.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but yeah.
And you're kind of known for your top 10s.
Yeah, I make them all the time. I've lost count of how many I've done. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Well, that's great, because we invited you here for a little segment we like to call Tom Vasel's Teeny Tiny Top 10. Oh, nope. That's a terrible name.
That is
Horrific.
horrible.
Hey, I came up with that name.
Now you know why you're in the Monopoly corner.
All right, Tom, so what top 10 do you have for us today?
Fantastic. The top 10 epic games that you should be covering, but probably aren't.
Epic games,
All
nice.
right, I can hardly wait to hear.
Number 10 is Pitch Car. In this game, you were deciding how hard to flick a disc around a racetrack.
Nice.
It's epic because it covers up an entire table. You're building a racetrack out of wooden pieces, and you're making it go around curves, and
So it involves toy cars?
it involves wooden discs with pictures of toy cars.
That does not sound very epic.
It's epic because it's heavy. Number 9, Mechs vs. Minions. From a small company, Riot Games, based on a very popular video game franchise. In this one, it's epic because of a couple reasons.
Well, number one, I'd like to point out that minions are not epic. They're typically small creatures.
Sure, that's why you're killing them. You are epic in this game.
Okay.
In this game, the box is huge and there's tons of plastic pieces, and you are one of 4 mechs, and these waves of minions come at you, and you're sitting there going, taking them down. That is epic. Number 8 takes place in the wintertime, Dead of Winter. This is an epic game in which you're part of survivors in a colony, and these zombies are coming after you, but some of you are traitors to the colony. And you're all fighting and arguing. Yes. I'm sorry, I should be more clear about who the traitors are. But you're trying to argue over that over the course of the game, and it's a very epic experience. It takes about 2 hours, and you're very involved the whole time trying to figure out who exactly these traitors are.
2 hours of time, that sounds epic.
Well, as long as you can make decisions. Number 7 is Memoir 44. And this is epic because it covers the entirety of World War II.
I will say that sounds pretty epic.
That's pretty epic, yeah.
Well, I'm glad you finally agree. When I was a kid, I always wanted to play with all the little plastic army men. I'm sure you did too.
When he was young, they were 10.
Sure. And that's what this game lets you do. It lets you recreate all sorts of battles, but what it does is if you buy 2 copies, you can put them together, and like Voltron, it becomes a bigger game, and you can play 4 versus 4 with one person being the overlord.
Voltron, now you're talking my language.
I knew it! Except he's not in this game, so don't get confused. It happened in 1944.
Voltron didn't join the war until 45.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's very exciting. Number 6 is Twilight Imperium 4.
One of my favorite games.
That's right. They finally got it right the 4th time. In this game, you are controlling a... They're all good. They're all good. In this game, you're controlling a giant space empire of various aliens fighting other people. It takes hours, 8, 9, 10.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. 8, 9, 10 hours.
I'm kidding. For some people, it's only 4.
Oh, all right.
Why, have you played it?
Yeah.
And how long?
9.
Number 5. Pandemic Legacy. Many people have played the game Pandemic.
I have played, yes.
It's about stopping the world from being overrun by diseases. What Pandemic Legacy lets you do is play 17 games of this in a row.
17.
Well, not in the same day, but each game, the board changes slightly. You get to rip cards up, you get to put stickers on the board, and it changes and evolves into an epic story.
Can I, instead of ripping the cards up, place them in a box and promise never to open that box?
Well, some people have problems, so let's move to number 4. Pandemic Legacy 2.
Oh.
I know! The sequel always makes more money. Pandemic Legacy 2, more epic than the first one. You thought the first story was great? Here's 17 more games.
17 more.
Well, sometimes it's 16, sometimes it's 18.
You mean they don't know?
Well, it's number 3. Star Wars Imperial Assault. Now, Star Wars, of course, big movies.
Sure.
And in this game, you get to be a ragtag group of heroes who gets to go around and accomplish all sorts of things. And you can play mission after mission after mission after mission after mission.
So it involves like the Death Star.
You get to play all sorts of cool missions, and all sorts of neat things happen in this game. You might run across Darth Vader. He might wave hi, might slice you up. Number 2 is Gloomhaven. Now, do you know why this one's epic?
Because it's my favorite game of all time?
No?
I would say it's because of the box.
He's much closer.
Yeah.
Gloomhaven is a game that if you play it, they say it takes around 80 hours to play, which makes me a little sad because at the rate I'm going, that's just a fraction of the time I'll be spending.
I feel like I've played 80 hours already and I'm a third the way through it.
Well, sure, but for good players, it takes about 80 hours. And in this game, it's a dungeon crawl, but it's strategy and thinking. It's such a fantastic game. It is truly epic, and the box weighs more than a small child. But the most truly epic game of all, that came out in 1978 and is found in thrift stores near you. The Campaign for North Africa. Okay. Have you heard of it?
I have not heard of this.
Never heard of it.
Well, this is a true epic game. It takes 1,200 hours, according to the box, to play. Oh, and in fact, rumor has it that the designer himself has never finished the game.
What was he doing?
Well, I think he was still in the war at the time. But the game, 1,200, that's 50 days playing 24 hours a day, which of course we know very few gamers do. They cap it off at 20. And there's so much gaming in this, and it covers everything from how many rations of noodles you give the Italian soldiers. That is epic.
That is epic.
Pasta is important.
That is epic.
And this game is fantastic, but I do not think there's a person on Earth who has ever actually played the game all the way through, but someone should try.
And yet it tops your list.
It's epic.
Thank you so much, Tom.
All right,
for that epic list. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Tom. You want to play Monopoly with me?
No.
Curtis.
Yeah.
Did you just ask Tom Vasel to play Monopoly with you?
Maybe.
You just bought yourself the iron, buddy.
Oh, come on.
Bet that thimble's looking pretty good right now to you, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm lonely.
The origin of the game. America, Springfield, Massachusetts, circa 1940. Milton Bradley and his brother Edward are about to clean the gutters. But the legacy these brothers left on the world was far-reaching indeed.
Be careful, Edward. I always am, Milton. Whoa! Oh, snake! Did you say snake? I think my leg is broken. You went up the ladder, then fell down when you saw the snake. I can't remember Mother's middle name. Yes, very tragic. But I just came up with the best idea for a new game. What does a spleen look like?
And that's how Snakes and Ladders was born. Probably.
You know what? Pick us up with a little quick picks, would you, Miles?
Why, I don't mind if I do, Leif. Now, what I have with me today are 5 games that will most likely be a movie starring The Rock.
Why The Rock, Miles?
Because The Rock is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm aware that you're a big fan
First
of his.
game up is Hot Shots. There you go. This cooperative wildlife fighting game, it even... What's wrong with it? Oh, there you go. I like to play it sideways. First up is Hot Shots. This is a cooperative wildfire fighting game. It even says so on the box. You can read it. Now, it has a pressure luck mechanic for 1 to 4 players, and I'll say this, couldn't you just see The Rock all huge and sweaty and hot and multi-ethnic fighting forest fires? I mean, look, I'm comfortable with my masculinity, so I'm just saying, The Rock is a handsome man. All right, next, we have Rum and Bones Second Tide. Now, if you're like me, multi-ethnic and longing for a father figure, then... Thank you. Then it's about time we had a pirate rock. Yes, this 2-player miniatures game is all about attacking your opponent's ships and getting all the booty. And when I think about booty, like I told my wife at the divorce hearing, I think Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Yeah, that man would look good in a puffy shirt. Number 3, Impact. This dice game is all about knocking dice around and trying to make a match. Now, this movie would be 90 minutes of The Rock alternately smashing into things and then making love to any of the women he makes contact with. Yes, I would watch that movie over and over and over.
You okay there, Miles?
Shut up, Travis.
All right.
All right, 4, laser chess. This is chess with lasers. The Rock would play a grandmaster chess champion with lasers, one on each pec, and works on multiple levels. 800 billion domestic.
Did you say billion, Miles?
And finally, Spring Meadow.
Wait, Spring Meadow, Miles?
Yes, this would be The Rock's attempt at an Oscar, Leif. He wouldn't get it, of course. The Academy would rob him just like they did Sylvester Stallone. I mean, why invite him down to just not give it to him? I mean, it's a lot of LA traffic for a 90-year-old man. And Mark Rylance, trust me, nobody even saw Bridge of Spies. I mean, who are they kidding?
I saw Bridge of Spies. Yeah, and I thought Mark Rylance was amazing.
You just bought yourself Monopoly Corner.
What?
You heard me. You heard me.
What? No, can he do that?
Don't look at Travis. He can't help you. Leave. Go.
God dang it.
I don't need attitude as you walk over there either.
I mean, I'm the host.
So? You think you're the only one who can do that? I mean, if Travis can host, anyone can.
Thank you, Miles.
You're welcome. Spring Meadow is a spatial puzzle game set in the lush meadows blooming in the mountains. This would be a period piece where The Rock would play a young Bavarian man named Uwe Rosenberg, blooming with life and newfound love for a woman named Spring in the meadows of Germany at the turn of the century. It's about how life is a puzzle that only the true connections with another human being can solve. You know, I've actually written the screenplay. It's a little long, about 214 pages. It's a work in progress. You're a screenwriter, aren't you, Travis?
Thanks, Miles. Miles Gross, everybody. Thank you, Miles. I'll call you. How's it going over there, Leif?
Got Marvin's Gardens and a utility.
Did you say Marvin's Gardens? I'm pretty sure it's Marvin Gardens, but whatever.
Who owns the gardens? Marvin does.
All right. While Leif builds his real estate empire, let's travel to Denver, Colorado, to one of the most epic game stores I've ever been in, the Wizard's Chest. And here's a fun fact. Watch my hair in this video. Today, I'm at the crossroads of Denver, Colorado, at a magical place called the Wizard's Chest. Now, much like the TARDIS, this place is bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. To give you an idea of how big, everything you're seeing right now, everything, is just the first floor. So this is Matt, the manager of the Wizard's Chest. Now, tell me a little bit of the history of the Wizard's Chest.
So the Wizard's Chest opened in 1983. We were kind of a couple blocks from here in the neighborhood of Cherry Creek. And it started as a costume store, but we realized real quickly that games was kind of an untapped market.
Right, you wanted to be cool.
Yeah,
That's what
absolutely.
You're saying.
And
costumes is cool, but games is really cool.
Yeah. So about 50% of the store, our whole downstairs is games. And if you look over there, we've got old world like chessboards and cribbage and stuff like that. We got a big section of party games. So, you know, those are all the ones we're selling on New Year's Eve.
But I would imagine you've got your costume people, and you've got your board game people, and then you have the LARP people, which are kind of like belong to both groups.
Exactly.
There's kind of a détente going on there.
Yes, yeah.
You only sell, you do not have a like rental system where people play games here and they rent it, or?
We don't do rental games, but if you go around the corner, we have a demo wall. And
You have a demo wall?
Tons of demo board games.
Let's go check out the demo wall. This is the demo wall.
This is the demo wall.
Now, what do I have to do if I'm here and I want to play one of these games?
You just gotta ask. So people walk up to the counter and they say, I want to try Clank. We'll hand it to you. You can go sit in the game rooms over here and just play with your friends for all afternoon if you want to. We've got the Magic boosters back here. We got all the Pokemon boosters back here. We've got Magic in the case down here.
Cool.
We do tons of Magic the Gathering. It's bigger than it's ever been.
Oh,
we
yeah.
do Friday night tournaments. What you're actually hearing right now is the end of Pokemon Club, which is every Tuesday. That's...
Ooh, Pokemon Club.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go check out Pokemon Club.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm here with Dexter, JG, Benjamin, Fisher and Manny of the Pokemon Club. Now tell me a little bit about the Pokemon Club. You are the Grand Poobah, or shall I say, the Grand Pikachu of the Pokemon Club?
So, yes, I am. I'm the professor here. Yes.
Excellent. You're the professor?
Yes.
All right. Where did you go and get that degree?
So, it's an online degree.
It's an online degree? Okay, excellent.
It's the equivalent of a judge for Pokemon.
I got it.
So, you take a test online, you have to be 18 years old, and Pokemon then approves your test and does a background check, and if you're all cleared, then they grant you the title professor, which means that I'm authorized to run events such as the Pokemon League here, as well as judge premiere events, pre-release events, and tournaments here.
And you can also teach at Harvard. So tell me, Benjamin, how long have you been in the Pokemon Club?
6 months, I guess.
About 6 months. What about you, JG?
First day?
First day. What about you, Dexter?
Same.
Same first day? If I wanted to join the Pokemon Club and I wanted to come down here to the Wizard's Chest, how would I do it?
It's a free to show up event, so
Okay.
we're all welcoming of people of all ages.
So if I wanted to get involved and I lived in the Denver area, where would I go to find out online about you?
Wizardchess.com. We have a calendar on the website. It has all the events on it. You can shop on our website, so we ship all over the world. If you're in
Okay.
Norway and you want a Darth Vader costume, we will send it to you.
Hear that, Norwegians? Well, this place is amazing. It's fantastic. You're great. Thank you so much for taking us around, Matt. And this is Matt from the Wizard's Chest, and this place is well worth visiting. How you holding up there, Leif?
Well, I spent that entire segment in jail, and Curtis somehow has 3 hotels.
I can't believe I'm beating you right now.
I can't either.
And he's in Mensa.
Really? He's never mentioned it.
How long do I have to stay here?
Well, until you win or someone takes your place.
You want to take my place?
I do not.
You know what we should do now? We should check on how Brett's doing.
Huh? Would that make you feel better, sport? Okay. Let's check back in with Brett and see how he's gotten along with his escape room. Nope.
I just want to go to the bathroom!
Okay, what's weird about that is I never locked the bathroom door. He must have done that himself somehow. What's he doing? I mean, it is the morning.
Yeah.
Although this clue may seem mysterious, weird symbols making you delirious. The key to solving your next caper is written on the toilet paper. There's only one square. Why would you do this? You know I'm a heavy wiper! One left, the right, take the triangle to the right, the squiggle to the... This doesn't make any sense! What? Someone please help me. Who are you? My daughter's first school play is today. Starts in a few minutes. She's playing a bunny.
Okay, I might not have thought this through the whole way.
Yeah. Lonnie, if your daughter's in her first school play in a couple minutes, why are you here?
It's not her best work.
Tough love, I get it. Speaking of tough love, I think it's time for Versus, the segment where 2 of the toughest game lovers fight it out to see which game rules supreme. This week we have Dan Billett versus Pauline Yasuda.
This week, it's Twilight Struggle
versus Twilight Imperium 4.
May the best game win.
Twilight Struggle is a game of political intrigue for 2 players.
Twilight Imperium is a game of space conquest for 2 sets of 3 players.
Twilight Struggle takes about 3 hours to play.
Twilight Imperium takes about 3 hours to play. The first round.
Twilight Struggle has been around for 14 years.
Twilight Imperium has been around for 22 years. The first game ever played just ended 6 days ago.
Twilight Struggle is a gripping depiction of the Cold War conflict between the USA and the USSR. The cards use real-world events to make you feel like you're reliving history all the way up through the 1980s.
Twilight Imperium has 17 different bizarre alien factions, all of which look like they're dressed in fashions from the 1980s.
I mean, what were we thinking, right?
I don't know, old man. I was 3.
All right. You want to take the gloves off? All right. Twilight Struggle's cards can be rapidly flipped to create a communist propaganda film.
Twilight Imperium's components hold the encrypted blueprints for warp drive.
Twilight Struggle could actually teach our politicians how to create world peace.
Twilight Imperium is the favorite game of meta world peace.
The former basketball player known as Ron Artest.
Wait, you know about sports?
I know about basketball.
Well, maybe we're not so different after all.
Or maybe we are, but I learned diplomacy from Twilight Struggle. Ha! Game, set, match.
If I dropped Twilight Imperium 4, it might crush me.
That makes Twilight Struggle this week's winner. Good job, guys.
Hey, you two, would either of you care to play Monopoly?
Ooh.
It's tempting. I mean, Monopoly is the only game where you can say the word Oriental and not get in trouble these days, but... No.
No way! I got all 3 green properties.
They have names, Curtis.
Well, if you're stuck in the Monopoly corner, I guess I'll have to get someone else to talk about our next epically featured game, Renegades Raiders of the North Sea.
What? No, I love that game.
Bummer.
I can do it, Travis. I can do it.
Hey, Beth. Beth Leckie, everybody.
My family is Viking, actually.
I can tell by your clothes.
Every summer we do Viking things.
Yeah, really?
Really.
Like what?
Like boating and pillaging.
You pillaged as a child with your family.
Yes.
Well, I'm convinced Beth seems more than qualified to talk about our next epic game. She is obviously a Viking.
Yay.
Let's go above the board for Raiders of the North Sea.
Raiders of the North Sea is a fast-paced worker placement game for 2 to 4 players.
Worker placement games are games where the central mechanic is placing workers. In this case, meeples.
Viking meeples.
Feeples.
In various different locations which allow you to take different actions.
Cut it out, Leif. You're in the Monopoly corner.
Yeah, but unlike Beth, I'm actually Norse.
Hey, I don't make the rules.
Fine.
In Raiders of the North Sea, you're a Viking warrior trying to impress your chieftain by raiding the countryside. Just like I used to do with my family.
Oh, come on.
You build up a party of like-minded Vikings, collect provisions, and then travel northward to plunder to your heart's content.
There are 3 main resources you can steal from the peasants. Gold, iron, and these orange buckets.
Livestock, that's a cow's head.
I don't. Oh, I see it now.
Go away, Leif.
On each turn, you may potentially take 2 actions. Your first action is generated by placing one of your workers,
Veeples,
onto a location. If it's placed here in the Viking camp, then you can have a second action by taking one of the workers,
Veeples,
meeples from an existing spot and taking the action of the place they were formerly placed on.
The cool thing is that you never actually control more than one meeple. This really helps those folks who suffer from analysis paralysis.
I know! I love this game!
Shh. If, however, you use your first action to make a raid, you get no second action.
It's so worth it, though. Raids are where you get most of your points in the game, and that rocks. 'Cause points is how you win, yo. That's Viking slang.
No, it isn't.
In a raid, you take the strength of your raiding party, add up any bonuses from special powers and the level of your warrior's armor. You then roll a die. If the total is above the number listed here, under the target of your raid, you get that listed amount of points. You also get the plunder. Now, if you get one of these black death heads here...
Those are Valkyries.
Valkyries. One of your crew dies. But you move up the Valkyrie track.
I think my mother was a Valkyrie.
Your mother was a mythical winged warrior that collected the souls of the dead?
Mm-hmm. And she was a dental hygienist, too.
Wow, good for her. She sounds great.
Thank you, Travis.
Now, there are 2 expansions for this game. The first one, Fields of Fame, adds Jarl tokens mixed into the plunder and Valkyries. Jarls can be killed.
For reward.
Subdued.
You're on my team now.
Or if they're too tough, you can just run.
In Hall of Heroes, they add in beer.
Mead, actually.
This is killing you.
It really is.
Did I mention you can get your Vikings drunk before a raid and that makes them more powerful?
That was implied when you yelled beer.
Sweet.
Hall of Heroes also adds in quests as yet another way to accumulate points. But all of this is not what makes this game truly epic.
Oh yeah? Tell me more, Lottie.
This is the middle game in a series. The first game, Explorers of the North Sea, has you playing the part of a Viking sea captain, using his longboats to discover new lands and new resources. You have until winter to construct outposts, transport crew and livestock, and tame this brave new world.
In the third game, Shipwrights of the North Sea, you compete to build an epic fleet. You must gather oak, wood, iron, as well as the other boat builders to design and construct mighty ships faster than your competitors.
That's still not what makes it epic!
What makes it epic, Travis?
There is a 4th metagame add-on called the North Sea Rune Saga. In it, you take on the truly epic task of collecting runestones over a playthrough of all 3 games. This transforms the North Sea games into one giant mega game that defines the very essence of what it means to be epic. A word, by the way, that has its origins in the greatest poem ever written, Beowulf, an epic Norse tale of which, by the way, I am a descendant of said epic people, to which, therefore, I too am epic.
How you doing over there?
I am losing very badly. I have all 4 railroads.
So, Raiders of the North Sea is a game for 2 to 4 people, 12 years or older, and can be played in about 80 minutes.
It's for people who love worker placement games.
The Norse.
People with longboats.
Pillagers.
Mead drinkers.
And anyone who wants to play a game that involves playing 3 other full games. By the way, Beth, I looked it up. The Leckby name actually has an Irish origin.
Duh. That's where Vikings come from. Hey, Monopoly! Can I play?
Yes!
Oh, thanks. I love Monopoly. I owe you one.
Yes. Yes, you do.
Are you glad to be back?
Yeah, very much so. You know, Travis, Raiders of the North Sea has some pretty cool meeples in them. Did you know where the term meeple came from?
I do not, but I know someone who might.
No.
Let's welcome Brian Splain, the man with all the answers. in a segment he likes to call Let Me Spillane It to You.
Thanks, Travis.
Ah, you're welcome, Brian. Brian, Leif has a question.
Actually, I asked because I know the answer.
Oh, come on, Leif. Who would ask a question they already know the answer to? That would be pretentious. Brian, where does the term meeple come from?
The often misunderstood and ever mysterious meeple.
I often hear new gamers, like this guy here, don't know where the term comes from.
Okay, all right, lesson learned. Can we move on now?
Let me explain it to you. It's commonly believed that the term meeple made its first appearance in the game Carcass 1, the popular board game set in medieval France.
No, look, I think you mean Carcassonne.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Carcass 1. Named after the fortified medieval town in southern France?
Yeah, that's Carcassonne.
Potato, tomato. Well, anyway, while the world still eagerly awaits the release of the follow-up, Carcass 2, the release of which is shrouded in mystery.
I'm sure it is, yeah.
The impact that this Europe game has had is undeniable.
Euro game.
Excuse me?
It's a small thing, but Carcassonne is what's called a Euro game, not a Europe game.
It takes place in France, right?
Yeah.
And France is in Europe, right?
Last time I checked.
Which is why it's called a Europe or European game.
Yeah, that is not actually how
And due to the brutal, desolate life portrayed in Carcass 1,
Carcassonne,
the ancient biblical term meeple was incorporated into the game to describe the peasant workers who slavishly build this medieval world.
Biblical term?
Yes. Which brings me to my point.
Wow.
Little known fact, but the term meeple originally appeared in the Old Testament.
Oh, God.
It's what Moses said to the Pharaoh.
Nope, no, it's not.
It's commonly thought he said, "Let my people go." But that's an error in the translation. He actually used, or some would say coined, the phrase meeple as in, "Let meeple go! Let meeple go!"
Nope. That is absolutely not true.
I'm pretty sure it is.
No, it's pretty straightforward, actually. Meeple is simply an abbreviation for mini people. And it was first coined for the Euro game Carcassonne, the Spiel des Jahres award winner in 2001. That's it.
Well, we'll just have to agree to disagree.
Brian Spillane, everybody. Brian's also in Mensa.
No, he's not.
Speaking of wicked smart, I think it's time for another quick pick.
Travis?
Yep, Kurt. Kurt is the sound guy, everybody.
I would like to collect now.
Collect?
I lost a game of Wits and Wagers Vegas edition to him. Let's just say that my wager was bigger than my wits.
Okay, what did you wager?
He said I could do a segment on the show.
Okay, Kurt. I mean, if that was the bet, then this is all you, buddy.
Thank you. This is 5 games that appeal to men of a certain age, who are me. Game 1, red flags. When people talk about me when I'm not around, but they forget to turn their microphones off, they often say, "I see a lot of red flags." I assume they're talking about this party game about bad dates.
That's exactly why they say that.
Yeah.
I know. Game 2, Bob's Burgers Edition Jenga.
Kurt,
What?
box.
Supposed to bring up the box?
No. Only the Bob's Burgers version, not the regular version.
Is that because you're a fan of the show?
No. Game 3, the captain is dead.
Box.
It's, Kim, can you help?
There you go.
There it is.
That's right.
I love you.
What?
Nothing. This cooperative game for 2 to 7 people allows you to work together to try and save an endangered starship. I'd like to play as the janitor. That's a real thing you can play. It's not a joke.
It didn't sound like one.
You know, Travis, I often think of you as the captain of the above-board starship.
Don't know quite how to take that, Kurt. Are you saying you want to play a game in which I'm dead?
Now this game makes me sad. It's off the list. Game 4. Sticky chameleons.
There we go.
I love you.
Okay.
Travis, Leif, I don't have to tell you why I like this game. Game 5. One Night Ultimate Werewolf.
Kurt, why One Night Ultimate Werewolf?
It has an app that talks to me, directly to me. I like that. Sometimes I play the game alone for hours.
I don't think you can play One Night Ultimate Werewolf solo, Kurt.
Oh, you can.
Thank you, Kurt.
That went much better than I thought it was going to.
Yeah, speaking of awkward moments, you had a few during your latest interview, didn't you?
I don't think so.
Really? Let's watch as Travis sits down with epic game makers Adam and Josh Carlson from Chip Theory Games.
Okay, I'm here with Josh and Adam from Chip Theory Games. Why don't you tell me a little bit about the history of Chip Theory Games?
Sure. Well, we started Chip Theory about 5 or 6 years ago, and Adam and I played a lot of games growing up, and we actually like to deconstruct those games as well and put our own little spins and twists on them. So basically, we would be finding ourselves making up our own rule sets and all of that kind of thing, and eventually that developed into coming up with our own games ourselves. And so it started with a big pitch on Kickstarter about 5.5 years ago. And
Want a chip? No? They're good. No. It's a chip. Not a chip. Go on. Just go on.
So anyway, we launched our first Kickstarter about 5.5 years ago, and that took off with the Hoplamaka series.
What exactly was Hoplamaka about?
Well, we used a lot of chips and a lot of neoprene.
I'm sorry. Cookies. Chips Ahoy. Would you like Chips Ahoy?
I'll
have one. Yeah, have a Chips Ahoy cookie? Cookies.
Basically,
Chips Ahoy.
We ran through about 3 games in that series, and we got some really good coverage by Ricky Royal and.
It's like potpourri. These are wood chips.
Oh.
Yeah, it makes kind of smell better, don't you think?
Yeah.
Wood chips.
Yeah, it does. So yeah, we basically rolled out 3 games then in that Hoplo series, and it was, dude, is that chip beef? Yeah.
Does that come with toast? Does it?
I see what you're doing here.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
It's funny.
What? I
Chip
do this
theory.
I do this with every interview.
And now we're talking about our next game.
Yeah.
So, Too Many Bones, which again has a lot of dice in it. Brand new series. It really struck a chord. We call it a dice builder RPG. It was.
I
Nice chip. I just love doing this.
The thing we're trying to do there is bring in some RPG elements to the game and do it without the need of a GM or whatnot, and like short stories like you'd read in a magazine
I'm
from
sorry,
the 1970s.
I just was checking. I want to see what was on TV.
Oh. God.
Anyways,
sure.
So basically, back to Too Many Bones. It struck a chord with people. We're liking what's happening with the dice and it's a co-op game. It's built solo right from the start, and you can play it 1, 2, 3, 4 player. You're heading off north to take out tyrants, and you're building your dice that are representative of your skills, and then you're hopefully completing your adventure.
I just got it. Chip Theory Games, because you use the chips.
Yes.
I just got that
Yes.
now.
I think we need to really go.
Chip Theory Games. Awkward.
Okay, I stand corrected.
It's funny you should say that. You sound just like my DM.
I doubt that.
No, really. He was saying the exact same thing at this week's session.
The town is under siege. The Orc King's army stretches out as far as the eye can see. You're trapped. There's no way out but down into a dungeon beneath the city.
Actually, we totally have a way out.
What?
I have a bowl of teleportation.
Where did you get that?
From the One-Eyed Ogre Mage. It's the same treasure trove where we got Curtis's Ring of Contrariness that we've been trying to get rid of.
Hey, no, we're not.
That's not getting tiresome.
According to my sheet, I fill the bowl up with holy water.
Got it.
And I trace a circle of salt 10 feet in diameter. Everyone gets in, and bam, we're out of here.
No, not so fast. Where are you guys getting the salt? Does anyone have salt on their sheets?
It's just salt.
Yeah, we're in a city.
Is that under character backstory?
We can't buy salt?
No.
Why?
Haven't got it.
You don't sell salt?
No.
At the general store.
Nope.
But it's a staple commodity.
Not round here.
That makes no sense.
Sorry, not much call for it in these parts.
Well, how do you preserve food?
Magic.
Can I stab him?
Wait.
You know what? Let's just go to the stables. They'll have salt licks there.
No salt.
Why?
Salt embargo.
Oh,
what?
There's a salt embargo over the whole city. The powerful salt merchants won't let any in. Plus, there's the Orc King sieging the town. Although I did hear there is some salt in a dungeon under the city.
Screw you. You're just upset that we found a way around your trap.
I don't know what you're talking about. I am a merchant.
What are we gonna do? Okay, guys, look. This is a port city. All we need to do is get a cauldron and some seawater and boil it down to salt.
Good idea.
No, it isn't. You are.
Can I stab him?
Come on. It won't work.
Why not?
Fresh water sea.
Oh, that's...
Can I stab him?
Go ahead.
Wait. Look, let's just do the dungeon. He's obviously put a lot of work into it. Come on.
All right.
I hear in the bottom of the dungeon, there's the salt mine.
You.
That's rather salty language.
So we all went to jail for killing the wharf master. It was a long night.
Hold on, you played D&D with the intern and the sound guy.
Yeah. So?
Nothing, I didn't know.
D&D is the great equalizer. You know, we should probably check in one last time with Brett.
Yeah, I almost forgot. Well, looks like he might have made it out. That's good. Huh. But the door would still be locked. That's odd.
Oh, hey. Hey, buddy. You okay?
Hey, time's up. You can go now.
I'm not leaving. This is my home now.
Hey, Brett, come on. The game's over.
There is no Brett. Brett is dead.
Hey, look, it's me. It's Brian. Just give me your hand.
Well, that certainly did not turn out the way I thought it would.
Told you.
She did. She did. We may need to replace Brian.
Do we, though?
Not really. Well, that's it this week, everybody. Oh, hold up. Who won the game?
I did.
Wait, how? No, Curtis, you were so far ahead.
I can't not land on the utilities every time. It just wore me down.
Yeah.
Wow. Who knew?
Utilities.
Yeah.
See you next time. Thanks for playing. I mean, it makes sense.
You could have won.